Welcome back, YouTube. Mowers and More 24 here again, and this is part 3 of reviving the Kgro. And in this episode, we're gonna mount the engine, and we're gonna work on our exhaust once we get the engine mounted, and we might just do an old start, cold start if we're lucky, if we've got time to do that. But yeah, this morning I went ahead and finished I just bolted that on. It probably won't do much, but it makes me feel better about myself. And it's just that right there it goes up in there, so it'll probably flop around. And there's just one bolt holding it on down here. But yeah, I went ahead and took the opposed twin off the John Deere. So all we gotta do is just mount that up. Gas tank. This is not the original gas tank. And don't mind the diesel fuel only. But we'll just take some zip ties and hold that down. And I gotta get about 8 inches of fuel line for it. I'll probably have to take I'm not gonna mount the gas tank just yet because I'll probably have to take it out to do that. Because it's real tight in there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and bolt this engine on with only 3 bolts instead of 4. And then hook all the wires and everything up to it, and then working on our exhaust right here, which this I had this on John Deere here, but I think I'm gonna try and reuse this resonator and do something kind of like that, have it come out the side out there and cut it flush with the fender, something like that. And it don't sit too low either, but I'm sure that's gonna sound real good, especially for this thing, because these things sound real good straight pipe. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mount the engine and check in with y'all whenever I get ready to do the exhaust. Alright, so I've got the engine mounted. I got all the wires hooked up. I got the choke cable and the throttle cable hooked up. So this engine could probably run right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and start on the exhaust. And right here, this is my wacky exhaust I made. I'm just gonna cut these flanges straight off again, and take some pipe and just build a new exhaust that comes out and around and comes out to about here, wherever the resonator end is gonna be, and then boom. But for the resonator, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bash all these sides in so we don't have an exhaust leak, and then weld it up, and then probably same for right here. Either that or find some type of reducer or something. So yeah, I'm gonna start on the exhaust, and I'll get back with y'all whenever I'm done with it. Alright, so I've got an exhaust done, and y'all are not gonna believe it. Hey, got us a nice 2 pipes that come down here into this resonator I was talking about, and then just come straight out right here at the wheel. And that right there is welded to the resonator, and that holds it up. So yeah, it's a little bit rough, but it'll work. Now I've been trying to get this thing to crank up, and every time I turn the key, the solenoid clicks, like it's wanting to spin it, and it won't start. But I took the wire off, and the wire that this jumper cable's hooked to, cleaned it, and then put it back on, and spun for a while, and then, I mean, it kept cranked up several times. But then just now I was trying to crank it back up on some gas instead of starting fluid, and it would never start back. It just kept clicking. But I did get it to turn over with the cable. I mean, the jumper cable on here like that. But it's not doing that now. So probably gonna have to get another solenoid, and I've got one right here. I don't know if it's the exact same. Yeah, close enough. So probably just clean this thing up and slap it on here. Hopefully it works. So I'll get back with y'all. Well, she's a running now. Alright, so as y'all seen from that little clip, she runs. I did not touch the carburetor or nothing. Didn't even clean it. I just sprayed some starting fluid in it. And it acted like she wanted to start. So I took a plastic water bottle and put some fuel on the filter down here and stuck it down in it. And she pumped it through, and she started up, and I was like, daggone, she's running. So I was like, alright, let's put fuel tank in. So got the fuel tank on, and it runs relatively good. I imagine that's going to clear up over time, because like right now, you got to run it at about, maybe a little bit less than half choke, in order for it to run. I want to be, and as you heard, whenever you try to rev it up, it hesitates. It sputters for a second, and then it catches back up with itself. And if you're trying to go all the way to full throttle, it'll just sputter and sputter and sputter, and it won't catch. It'll just die. But yeah, I love how the exhaust comes, you know, from both of them into two, just like that, and goes into the resonator, and then comes out right here. I left that, I just wanted that shiny, and I just left all that, because I don't really care. It'll probably all rust anyways. But I guess you can probably see, alright, so as you can probably see right in here, the resonator is kind of more open than the pipe, so it's not got a good seal. So not all of the exhaust comes out right here. Most of it's, or some of it's coming out down here. I might fix that sometime, but as for right now, I think that's an accomplishment. And then up here, I probably won't even bother, you know, capping that off or anything, because this pipe goes in about an inch, and this one goes in about 1.5 inches or something. So yeah, what I'm gonna do tonight before I call it a night is I'm gonna take some of that sheet metal right there behind that little Power Wheels Jeep and cut out a hole for the shifter boot, and or cut out a hole for the shifter, and then self tap the boot on, and then just self tap it on, and call it done with that. And then, well, I don't think I showed this on camera, but I got rid of my parking brake right there. I just decided to go ahead and take it out. That way I wouldn't have to fool around with that, because I'd have to probably take the transmission off in order to get it to slide down under there, because some of it's got to come up in here, some of it goes back there, so it would just be a big pain in the butt. But yeah, the problem with that is I don't have a parking brake, and if I want to let this thing idle, I've got to let it, or if I want to let this thing idle while I'm not on it, got to have that on. Yeah, I really didn't feel like rewiring it or trying to find out which wires do what. So I just took some real thick wire and bent it over like that, and it hooks up under there. So yeah, I'm going to put that panel right there on, and I might Bondo that maybe tonight. Might. And then I got a sticker I might put on the back here. Oh, and I gotta put the cage back on it. But the sticker is right here. Pro X4 or Pro 4X. I don't want to put that on the back. But I don't know. So yeah, like I said, yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the shifter panel in the boot on. It looks rough, but honestly, it came out a whole lot better than what I thought it would. I got 3 self-tappers holding it in over here, 3 self-tappers over there, and got the boot on. Only thing is, it's a little bit tight going up into here. I hope it shifts, but it's a little bit tight going there. But it seems like it'll go fine over here and up here. So, that's going to be it for this episode. So, see you in the next one.